Hello ponies and sentient creatures, I'm Marked Fauna and today I'll be talking about Parasyte The Maximum anime and its real-life counterparts. First, let's talk about the synopsis of the series. Parasyte The Maximum is a 2014 body horror and science fiction anime based off of the 1988 manga series Seiju by Atashi Iwaki. The show centers on 17-year-old Shinichi Izumi, an average teenage boy who lives with his mother and father in a quiet Tokyo neighborhood. Things are pretty normal until small green pod-like egg casings fall from the sky, and small green worms with drills for heads invade the earth. These parasites then head to the brain, either through the nose, mouth, ear, or any way possible. Once inside the brain, they merge their cells with the host's brain cells and succeeds to take control with the ability to shape-shift body parts and create knives with said body parts. Once it finds a host and adjusts to its new body, it searches for food. The parasite only consumes the meat of the same species of the host they have infected. Though in our main parasite Miji's case, Shinichi wakes up and stops it from being able to reach his brain, instead leaving it in his right arm, causing them to form a symbiotic relationship due to the fact that Miji needs Shinichi alive for it to survive, and Shinichi needs Miji to give him protection due to the fact that the parasites can easily sense when another one of their kind is near. Now let's take a look at the parasite species itself. In its first stage, it is green and burrows into the host's skin, somewhat like maggots or botfly larvae. But they only eat the dead skin off their hosts and use their host as a safe place to stay until adulthood. Whilst the parasite in this species controls the mind and uses it to search for food and live. This reminds me of two parasites. Well, one that is an insect and more closely resembles the parasite in the series, and the other is a parasitic fungus. But let's take a look at the fungi, since it can't move like the one in the anime. The fungus species is called cordyceps. Now, cordyceps hosts are mostly insects. Each subspecies attacks different species of an insect, but let's talk about the species that infects ants. The process begins when adult cordyceps releases its spores. Those spores then get inside of the ant by entering through the holes of the ant's exoskeleton. From then on, it digests the host from the inside out, all but its vital organs. From then on, the cordyceps will alter the behavior of the host for their own benefit. It then guides the infected ant to find a suitable place for the fungi to grow. Once there, it will go onto a leaf and bites down, starting the process called the death grip. Once there, the ant will die within 10 days from starvation. During this time, the fungi will erupt from the ant's body and continue to grow while spreading more spores for the cycle to continue again. Now that species does control the mind and body, but looks nothing like the worms in the show. Well, that's where the green banded broodsac comes in. The green banded broodsac is a species of flatworm. The process begins when a snail eats bird droppings infected with the eggs of the green banded broodsac. The eggs then hatch inside of the snail's stomach. The larvae then form into a long tube called a broodsac that is filled with hundreds of thousands of larvae. The broodsac then pushes out of the digestive system and into the eye stalks of the snail. Then they can force the snail to go to a place visible by birds, and the sacs move rapidly to simulate the look of a maggot or caterpillar, some of birds' favorite foods. The bird will then eat the snail's eye stalks, and the flatworms will breed in the bird's digestive system, laying eggs, and thus the cycle continues. Now, I don't know about you, but the green banded broodsac looks an awful lot like the worms in Parasyte. It controls the mind and can alter the look and shape of the snail's eye stalks. Although there are no species exactly the same, but it is interesting to see that there is one so similar. I love this show due to the writers not making the parasites out to be the bad guys, but just another species trying to survive. What do you think? Did you know there were this many parasitic species? Have you seen the show? Do parasites interest you? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching my video, and remember, stay wild, fellow fauna.